Hey, what's good, guys?
Hey,
So
what's up?
here we are. Hey, the first inaugural selection showdown from Loudmouth Sports Talk. Hey,
Yes,
from
sir.
left to right, we got Big G George Frisch, myself, Corey Brown Jr., and then we got the guy who's going to get his ass whooped today, and all this. Sean Evans. What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? How's your Sunday?
Pretty good. How you been?
Good, you?
Hey, man, it's football's back. There's nothing
Yeah.
better, man. Get
Yes.
the watching college football yesterday, watching Pitt just whoop the heck, like Pitt football
There's
looked
a
good.
bunch of games like that yesterday.
Yeah.
But Pitt played no one.
Yeah. Hey, George, if you watched their show on Tuesday, you watched me pick Louisiana. And the only reason why I did it was because I like to be bold about some stuff and I just like the sound of the game. But today, so the first game, George, go ahead and let us know what the first game we're going to get into for sport. We going to talk about the Houston versus Kansas City game. So as you see, Sean is already 0-1 to start it out. He's already caught an L, and we're only one game in. Everybody else came to their senses and thought Kansas City was going to be just as good as they were last year, but they're better. Like, now they have a running game. How the hell do you prepare for Kansas City if you're a defensive coordinator?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you hope is your offense can even try to keep up with KC's offense.
It's literally you gotta have a shootout with them and win the shootout.
Yeah, I mean, that team's going to be real deadly. Like I was talking to one of my other buddies yesterday. As long as KC's defense can keep it under 35 points, I mean, honestly, even 42 points, Casey's offense is going to be very dangerous, just with their speed on the outside, the dynamic tight end they have with Travis Kelsey, and like Courtney just said, now that you have a legit running back, I mean, in Mahomes' time, I mean, your best running back was Shady McCoy, or well, they had Kareem Hunt until he decided to drop kick some chick, but that's besides the point. Now being able to actually have um, a legit running back that hopefully is not going to be your lead kicker should help a lot, especially for how dominant Edwards-Helaire is.
Dude, the biggest pickup for the Chiefs, my boy Coleccio Simile, who is finally healthy. Him
Yeah,
and Eric Fisher next to each other. Oh my God. They were moving mountains last week,
yeah.
like Thursday.
That
They
was
had
the other
whole
big thing about that game is like the difference in the trenches was like
night.
night and day.
My favorite thing to see this morning. I don't know if you watched it, but Jeff Schwartz put it up. Um, the right tackle for Kansas City, he was doing a kick slide and he did a fake punch, got JJ Watt to lean forward, and then he actually struck and engaged them. And that's just like next level thinking of playing offensive line, man. So
Yeah.
we all went with Kansas City besides Sean. He's already on one. You're going to hear a lot of Sean being like at the end of this week and every week.
Poor Sean's going to be a boxing bag for this segment.
All right, so what game do we have next?
So
Seattle.
to start off our Sunday, again, we're no real order for the 1:00 games. But so Seattle, Atlanta is going to be our first rundown. Apparently me and Robbie, which Robbie and Dame weren't able to join us. They had some prior obligations, but they're going to be on the show with us down the road. And we kind of have like a cool announcement, I think, at the end of the show. And we're going to talk about it more on Into the Trenches, kind of going forward with our selection show. But so me and Robbie are going to be the ones that we're going to try to hold it down and knock you guys off quick. Well, knock Sean down even more, but start Courtney off with the L. I hope that the Seahawks right now are talking about running back by committee, and then obviously just Danger Russ doing his thing. We'll see how that works.
Well, as you guys know, last year I made the bold prediction that the Falcons will win the Super Bowl.
That worked out real well, buddy.
But to be honest, man, I think with Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, I think they're going to just be dynamic. And then they got my boy Todd Gurley in the backfield. And their defense is going to be healthy. So they're going to play a lot better on defense than they had previously. So I felt confident with this pick until Sean picked. Every time Sean picks a pick, I feel no longer confident.
Listen, Matt Ryan has help now, so I think he'll be just fine now with the offense.
Yeah. Yep. So
yeah, and this is honestly the first offseason where you haven't heard positive or negative about Todd Gurley's knee. So hopefully it's healthy and we'll kind of go from there.
Well, the problem is he had arthritis in it. That's really what they are. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's just as much as he can tolerate. But he even said it. Because of COVID, he's never worked this hard. Like, just think about that. And he said on the OBJ, Victor Cruz, and Cam Newton, like when they had to sit down, he's never worked out this much in his entire life. And he was already Todd Gurley. Imagine what the hell he's going to be now. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so next game in our 1 o'clock lineup, we've all decided this is going to be one big sweep against the Jets. We talked about it with Buffalo with TJ on Tuesday, and again throughout the entire into the trenches with me and Court. I just think right now with how Buffalo is set up, outside of the Patriots in their division and then a couple other teams in the AFC, it's going to be hard, both offensively and defensively. They've kind of bolstered their roster, and it's and like TJ said, it's going to come down to how far Josh Allen can take that offense. But having a nice running attack, and now having a real nice wide receiving weapon out of Stephon Diggs, this season could be interesting for Buffalo.
Yeah, for me, it's pretty easy. The Jets just fucking suck. I think it's just time to say that they fucking suck.
Also, it's going to be funny, real quick. What's his? I forget his first name, but Winters, the left guard that the Jets cut, is now playing for Buffalo. So that's going to be a real interesting, obviously, week one wave across the sidelines.
Yeah, so it's just that simple. Like I don't even really want to give the Jets any credit for anything. Their defense is going to play good because they have a good defense coordinator in Greg Williams, but their offense. I mean, and it's not a knock. Sam Darnold is a good, like he's going to be good, but they don't have an offensive line. They don't have any receivers. They have Le'Veon Bell, and they're saying Le'Veon Bell lost a step, and that's where missing a year of NFL football really comes in to haunt you. But like for not injury, if you're injured, it's different. Because you're at least still working as hard as you can to get back. If you miss because you feel like you deserve, and to Le'Veon Bell's credit, he did in a way reset the market of the NFL running backs. Because now you look at it, Zeke got paid, Barkley is going to get paid if he hadn't already.
Kamara got paid.
Dalvin Cook got paid. Kamara got paid. So all these now there's a running back market. So to Le'Veon Bell's credit, he did, in a way, get what he wanted done because he said it. It's not for me. It's for every running back after me. So I respect him for it. But the Jets are still going to get their ass whooped tonight.
Moving forward, so then another 1 o'clock matchup. We got Chicago versus Detroit. Again, funny enough, we have another split up of everybody's picks. So Sean and Robbie are going to die on that sword, hoping that Detroit is going to hold it down. Honestly, again, or go ahead. You go ahead.
Here's the thing: is with Detroit is the Bears. It's still Mitch Trubisky. Like, come on, I think that's where the Lions are going to excel at, is getting after Trubisky.
With who?
Getting
Get after him with. They're not the real Lions. They're not actually Lions.
They're not the real Lions, but you're going to get after them. You're going to you make Mitch Trubisky scared enough. He's going to throw his picks.
Tell me one defensive player on their defense.
I can't, but
I but for me, again, the Bears pick for me was their defense is really good. Obviously, Khalil Mack is Khalil Mack. And then again, I just like their running backs. I know David Montgomery was having a hamstring injury or issue. I think he was questionable for this week. I can't be 100% sure on that. I had to check that. But I'm going to being at Detroit's going to be interesting. But again, having a rivalry right out the gate like this is going to be real fun.
Here's a bold prediction for me. Mitchell Trubisky will lead the Bears deep into the playoffs.
Oh, come on.
Listen, the thing for me is we got the best backup there ever was behind him in Nick Foles, who can take over a team in the middle of a season and run deep. And I think
that's not Mitch Trubisky taking them deep into the playoffs. But if you rely on Nick Foles going,
how about you listen? So the thing is, Mitchell Trubisky's problem is he's not letting the game come to him. But now that he finally, because he had no reason to, there's nobody behind him that he ever even had the thought about, like, oh shit, I can lose my job to. Now, not only did the Bears say we're not picking up your optional year, we're even bringing somebody in who we believe can lead us. So I think Trubisky will play better. And again, he has a running game. He has a defense. And now it's just a matter of him putting it together. And I think he's going to be able to, man. I'm hoping for him to be able to. Because Roquan Smith is my favorite linebacker in the game now that Luke Kuechly's gone behind Tremaine Edmonds from Buffalo. So I want to see what they can do, man. And I just fucking don't believe in the Lions at all.
I don't even know. Their run game's decent. I almost picked Detroit just because I feel like it's going to be a battle of defense and a run game. But I just think the Bears are going to be able to take that off. So staying in the NFC North, we got another divisional rivalry game. We got Green Bay versus Minnie. I should have just put Kirk Cousins' photo in Courtney's box. But I'm going to go ahead and go with obviously Green Bay here. I think Aaron Jones is going to be the focus in this one.
I gotta buff this and then put a coat of wax on.
Go ahead and let Aaron Jones kind of start this off, and just let Aaron Rodgers do what he does and manage it. Again, I still think it's funny that we still almost use it as a swear word to manage a game. But especially this early in the season, how sloppy some games will look. I mean, regardless how you look at it, the first week of football, whether you have preseason or not, obviously with COVID not having preseason, it's still going to be a more sloppy game than obviously a week 5, week 6 game.
Right. I still think I think Aaron Rodgers is going to light up Minnesota.
Too. Yeah, I mean, I think Danielle Hunter's dinged up, so that's going to be hard for their defense. Obviously, over the top, they still have Harrison Smith, which he's real nice, but I still have faith in him.
I'm not going to let y'all get away with bringing this bullshit about the Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers played bad last year. The defense and the running back carried them all year long. And, yeah, the numbers look cute, but numbers don't tell a story. Because, if you look at a lot of things, and I just hate it because, I'm not going to get into it. But anyway, so needless to say, Kirk Cousins is going to show you why I like this guy. Like, Kirk Cousins is becoming my dude. Mostly because everybody hates him and don't give him his respect. I'm telling you, Dalvin Cook is going to run the ball down the Packers' throat tonight. So if you don't pick up anybody else, pick up Dalvin Cook.
Again, they're Dalvin Cook with the new contract. He's going to have that extra little bit, hopefully, to give him a little extra drive. But Packers defense is still nice. Changing up gears and looking at some teams that have some questions, but then obviously some new direction. We got Miami in Gillette Stadium this afternoon. Outside of Sean, Shockface, we had pretty much a clean sweep of the Patriots and Cam Newton taking this one.
Here's the only reason I'm saying Miami is Miami gives them problems every single year.
Yeah, especially
they literally give them, even in Gillette Stadium, they've given them problems every single year. And Bill Belichick can't stand Miami. Like, he literally has problems with them.
So, Sean, Miami's going to be a good football team. They're going to have a lot to build on. I love what Miami's doing because they're not forcing Tua to start. He won't be playing probably until, because look at this Miami schedule, their first 5 games, they're looking down a gun barrel. But the reason why I go with New England is because Miami doesn't know what New England wants to do with Cam Newton. Nobody wants to know. There's no preseason. Nobody has seen what Cam Newton is going to look like in New England. You can't study anything because Josh McDaniel never had anybody like him. And that's why I gave New England the advantage. Otherwise, I would be agreeing with you. But there's no answer for what Cam Newton is. So
I could see the part on Cam Newton because they did say that he was working. Belichick said he was working a lot better with him. I guess he's filling in his flaws and his gaps. But for some reason, I feel like Miami is going to be the upset once again in Gillette Stadium today.
Pick?
What's that?
You don't want to change your pick?
Nope. I still think Miami is going to be that upset in Gillette Stadium today.
You're going to be 5 games in the hole already to start the year.
Miami's secondary is going to be nice.
No, I agree. But Byron Jones is about to get abused by N'Keal Harry today.
We'll see that. So changing it up to, again, ESPN was talking about a historic day. So today's going to be the first day that obviously Washington takes the field under the new name, the Washington Football Team. Obviously relinquishing the name, the Deadskins. So being the new bolstered defense that the Skins, the football team has, and seeing how basically, well, I guess he started last year, but having Dwayne Haskins take full charge over the Washington offense, it's going to be very interesting, but I'd still pick the Eagles. Even with Miles Sanders out for this game, I still think that the Eagles and Carson Wentz has something to prove. And even with injuries to the offensive line for the Eagles, I think that they're going to hold down that defensive line of the Washington Football Team.
See, this is a scary pick. And the more I think about it, the more I might want to change my answer. Because I forgot Brandon Brooks is out.
Yeah, as of right now, Jason Peters is starting at left tackle. Obviously, you still have Lane Johnson. You still have Jason Kelce. I'm trying to think of their guards. But they do have a lot of injuries on the offensive line, but they do have a lot of veterans stepping into those roles.
Yeah, but it scares me because the Bama brothers, Payne and Allen up front, then you give them Kerrigan and you got Chase Young, who I think is going to be overrated.
But
I just think because now the thing for Washington is they have a head coach. and now they have Jack Del Rio. He's their defensive coordinator, and he is a good coach. So it's going to be interesting. I can go either way. I just hope that Philly can show why Carson Wentz should have been on the top 100 list, why Carson Wentz needs to stop getting disrespected, and why the Washington football team needs to get rid of Dan Snyder. What about you, Sean?
I think here's the thing with Philly. I think they're gonna play sloppy. I think it's gonna be sloppy football for Philly. This is really like Carson Wentz's like really major first start. I mean, he's had his starts, but then he's always injured.
What did you say?
Like Carson Wentz is gonna, I think he'll play sloppy.
What? George, get this guy out of here.
I think he'll play sloppy. I think he will. Like, what's wrong with playing? You have the injuries that you have. I think he'll play sloppy
against the Washington football team, and he's been in for 3 years.
Listen, Washington football team had something to prove. Come on.
Are you serious? This is the first major start for Carson Wentz. Oh my god! Oh my god!
The dude's always getting injured, so come on.
I mean, it's going to be a big game for him. I mean, he's down to his second running back. A lot of injuries up front. I still have faith in that front seven of the Eagles, even though they have some dings. Hargraves is out. Barrett is out for them. But with, again, Cox and Graham, that's still a scary front. It's going to be fun because you're going to have both really good D-line fighting each other. So changing it up, obviously another kind of historical day, I guess. So we obviously usher in the new Las Vegas Raiders, and they got Carolina in Carolina this week. Obviously, Teddy Ballgame, even though he started for the Saints last year, this is his first time where like he's put into the full driver's seat and kind of given the full reins
of the offense. Did you forget he was with Minnesota?
That wasn't. I mean, he was there for like a minute, and like that was you're fresh out of the draft. Let's see how this works. Versus Carolina says, "Hey, bro, here's like the full set of keys."
I agree with that. I can see that. So for me, Vegas is scary. Like they're so inconsistent. Like it's just like too many. Like, well, what are they going to be like? What are they going to do? Like they got good talent, they got good guys, but it's like, what is their defense going to do? Like I don't believe in Paul Gunther as a defensive coordinator. That's why I don't choose him against it. I like Carolina.
I think this is going to come down to who can control the game ball-wise and on the ground. Yes. We have two really good running backs, obviously with CMC, but then a lot of people forget about Josh Jacobs.
Yes.
Somebody showed ESPN showed a stat on the Thursday night game, I think. But Josh Jacobs basically leads the league in yards after contact, next to like I think Derrick Henry. Yeah. So I mean, that's huge. I just feel that Carolina with CMC and their defense is going to be able to carry them a little bit farther. The one bold prediction Damian had was CMC is going to have 200 yards overall offense, which I wouldn't be too surprised.
No.
I feel like I think this game's going to come down to who has the ball last. I don't think one team or another is really going to like explode out of the gate and really.
I think Joe Brady and Carolina and Matt Rule, those guys you want to talk about, because why I pick Carolina is because they have something to prove more than anybody, because everybody's only talking about, the Buccaneers and the Saints. Everybody's forgetting about Carolina, and it's like, oh no, whatever. They're just there. They're just going to be another team. Like they're going to be a bad football team, and I disagree, man. I think Carolina, they had a lot of pieces, it just ran its course with Ron Rivera. And I thought he was a bad coach, but they needed something different. And not only is it Matt Rule bringing a culture, but I think Joe Brady in his offensive mind is just, he worked under Coach Payton, for God's sakes. Like, he just sees it differently. And he just put up the greatest season of any college football team ever. And then he got to learn not just the passing game, but LSU's running game also. And now he gets to incorporate that with C-Mac. That's why I chose Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think C-Mac's just gonna have like one of those games today. He's gonna run, he's gonna catch, he's gonna move the ball. But I think Bridgewater is I think he's gonna have his game too.
So we go from two teams that are on the verge of rebuilding and repulling everything to another team that is about to sell everybody plus Sean and their entire concession stand. Jacksonville. It seems like they're just on a fire sale.
So it's funny how the only game that gets to have fans is the only game that's about to be a fucking murder scene. Everybody.
Yo, honestly, with how this game might go, we actually might see
Jacoby Brissett.
Well, Jacoby Brissett, and we might see Eaton from Washington. They might go through all three quarterbacks.
Right.
Phillip Rivers it might look like a preseason game. Phillip Rivers gets the first quarter, Brissett gets second and third, and then they bring Eaton in for the fourth quarter just to wrap this hoe up.
Jonathan Taylor and Marlon Mack are about to run. Hey, I wish you could put up our whatchamacallit. Run the damn ball. That's all you need to do. Run the damn ball.
I don't feel like I with it, or I would. But yeah, no, that's going to be definitely. I feel like the attitude for this game, them starting with the run game. Not that I don't have any faith in
Phillip
Rivers, but being able to just control the game by running the ball is going to be huge for them. Having the offensive line that the Colts have with two dominant running backs. Marlon Mack is a one-cut kind of guy. Jonathan Taylor is a fuck you north and south kind of guy. That has the ability to, again, shake too. But I just think that
hell yeah.
I just think that they need, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they had 150 yards rushing out of both running backs.
Like, bro, listen. Like, the funny thing is, Quentin Nelson, man, like, he literally goes to the offensive coordinator, which I haven't seen in the NFL, and tells him, hey, coach, we need to run the fucking ball. And to be able to execute it, that's the thing. Like, Colts, with the Cowboys, you knew they had a good offensive line. You knew they were gritty. But I didn't feel like they had that vibe that the Colts give off. We're like Costanza, Kelly, Quentin Nelson, like those guys are like, hey, motherfucker, I don't care if we're down 14 with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Run down ball. We go score. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I love Quentin Nelson, guys. That's
You're
my
super
guy
broken up.
forever.
Yeah, he's super broken
Jacksonville,
up.
rest in
But again, we expect a big blowout. Like Court said, the only team in the NFL outside of KC that had fans in the stands,
Yep.
they're looking for, unfortunately, a bloodbath.
Absolutely.
Keeping it going with. There we go.
There we go.
So, keeping it through the 1 o'clock games, you got Cleveland traveling to Baltimore for another divisional rivalry. I like how many divisional games that we have week 1. It makes it real fun for the start off of everything. Obviously, Courtney's on the outs on this one. I just think Baltimore has still so much to prove. I mean, so does Cleveland. But I feel like they're going to come out with a fire under their ass. And I feel like Lamar Jackson has something to prove week 1 to kind of just start off the NFL season. Like, I told you I can do this.
Because the way he felt, the way he ended the season last year with like getting beat how he did, like he like you said, he's going to come out something to prove. That whole offense is going to come out something to prove right off the bat.
Y'all can sound all cute. Oh, they got something to prove. Oh, how bad he got beat last year. It's the same old song. Here's the biggest thing. I'm gonna say a name, and all of y'all got to do is understand what I'm saying.
I'm gonna fucking laugh. Marlon Humphreys is gonna say, "I'm gonna shit on you."
No, but the name that I was gonna say is Jack Conklin. The fact that they bolstered up their offensive line and actually are going to protect. And then here's the biggest thing. Steven Stefanski is not going to let Baker Mayfield do what he did last year, which is turn the fucking ball over. Because they got Case Keenum back behind them. And Case Keenum, whether he's good or not, he's good. He's a solid quarterback. I'm not going to say he's top 15, top 20, but he's a solid quarterback. And in Minnesota, he had his best year under Stefanski. So I feel like Cleveland's going to run the damn ball, which a lot of teams should stick to. Keep that blueprint and run the damn ball because you have a top 5 back in Nick Chubb. And play off of Landry and Odell and stop making it. And then they got Austin Hooper too. So I told you guys, Cleveland, all 3 of these teams, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cleveland, are all going to be in the playoffs. Cleveland's going to win the division. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Hey, it's okay. I'm dying on this motherfucking sword.
Listen, I feel like this is going to be like a heavyweight fight. Yeah. This is going to be a ground and pound, like, fuck you, run the ball kind of game. And it's going to come down to who fucks up first and if somebody tries doing too much. Meaning the idea of I just don't understand why you would come off the run game for Cleveland having Chubb and Kareem Hunt. But I could see them getting hasty and trying to put the ball in Mayfield's hands. And even though I have faith in him,
that's where the mistake happens.
Fixing himself, I could see him forcing it. And God damn it, please let it be Odell Beckham, just so I can continue to make fun of him.
No, but listen. So again, I don't believe that because if Kevin Stefanski didn't come from where he came from in Minnesota, where he had to deal with Stephon Diggs, who was kind of like a drama queen, like y'all say Odell is, and he had to deal with Thielen. So I don't think it's going to be a problem with him putting the hands in Baker Mayfield and trying to feed Odell, who's a top 5 guy, whether you say it or not. Odell Beckham, I can guarantee you he will show you this year why the fuck you need to put some respect on his name. Because you, Big George, don't respect him at all. And it's atrocious. Just because
because he
shit on or whatever doesn't mean you can actually shit on him in real life. That's not
A
fair.
bunch of DBs are about to shit on him this year. Speaking of getting shit on, we, as the Loudmouth crew has deemed it, unfortunately, Cincy's going to drop their first one at home.
Wait.
With the Chargers coming into town.
Hold up. Can
I
change
your pick?
You changing your pick?
I'm making a last-minute change in my pick. And this is only because...
Is it going to be a tie?
My boy Cordell Wicklotzy, shout out to him, serving in the Marine Corps at the Pentagon. He is part of the Pentagon's 9/11 memorial. I had a call with him, and we talked. And I just feel like Joe Burrow. Nah, I ain't changing my pick. That sounded all cute.
Honestly, I don't think AJ. I don't know if AJ Green's active for this game or not.
But they still got T. Boyd, and they got
yeah,
and they got dude from Clemson, Justin Ross. No, that's not him. What's his name?
I forget. I still think the Chargers defense, even with Darwin James out,
yeah,
they're going to be too good. Bosa's got that big ass contract. They just redid Melvin Ingram's contract. Those two guys bookending. I don't have high faith in the Cleveland running or offensive line. Obviously, you have Joe Mixon on the run game, but I just think that Tyrod Taylor has too much to prove for the Chargers, and again, I'd still like Keenan Allen.
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So Higgins was the name, but
man, I saw that.
I don't know what to do. Do I change it?
Go ahead. You're going to lose the next matchup anyway. You and Sean.
All right.
So speaking of Courtney changing up things, so the second of our third 4 o'clock games, you got New Orleans welcoming in Tampa Bay. So this is going to be the first time that we see Tom Brady not in Patriots colors. Down in the South with Gronk. Mike Evans is questionable for this game. But again, Kamara just got paid. They have a shit ton of weapons on offense for Drew Brees. And I think Cam Jordan is going to have a hell of a game. I actually was hoping that Clowney was going to go to the Saints. They tried doing some backdoor NBA trading that didn't work. But I still think Cam Jordan, that defense, is going to make it hell on Tampa and Tom Brady for their first game. Especially, I mean, even without fans coming into New Orleans, there's just a different vibe to that.
Here's the thing though with the Tampa Bay New Orleans is I'm a New Orleans fan. I cheer for New Orleans, but you're literally going against Tom Brady, Gronk, Mike Evans. I mean, that offense of Tampa Bay is going to be fire this year.
They're going to be nice. I have more faith in the consistency of New Orleans bringing back their core versus Tampa Bay is going to still it's going to be a working progress for
But New Orleans secondary was always a struggle.
But then here's my thing. Do y'all like my palm tree for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers too? It's like so the biggest difference, and I'm gonna say what I said for why I chose the Patriots is why I chose the Bucs. You don't know what the hell Bruce Arians is going to do with that offense. You don't know if he's going to do stuff that Tom Brady likes. You don't know if they're still going to be the old Tampa Bay team. I think it's going to be a blend, right? You can kind of guess and try to go against it. But the thing for me is the fucking Saints defense is trash. And I think it's time we need to say that.
It is trash.
And they have Demario Davis or whoever the fuck he is. And then they have like Lattimore who shows up sometimes. Other times he's in a spaceship. Like, they're not good. They're not a good defense.
The only defense that carries him is Cam Jordan. That's it. Yeah. Cam. He's the only one that carries them.
They literally get away with being mediocre year in and year out, which is why they suck in the playoffs and lost to who last year? Kirk Cousins. Shout out to my boy Kirk Cousins. And it wasn't like there was a cheating penalty or anything like that. They just got their ass whooped. So I think that's why I'm going to go with Tampa Bay, man. I think their defense is underrated, and Tampa Bay's defense is healthy. And that's what's going to be the key for them to be good this year is their defense is going to be able to keep Tom Brady on the field long enough, but be able to win a game if they need to. Because now it's their second year together with that defensive coordinator. They picked up some pieces on defense to make them stronger. And Levante David is one of my favorite players in the game coming out the Mike Backer. So shout out to my boys in Tampa Bay. They about to get it done.
So speaking of strong defenses, so the last 4 o'clock game we're going to be talking about, we got San Fran versus AZ. This is going to be a very interesting game. This was actually one of those picks that, like we talked about earlier, that I kind of struggled with going back and forth. But I just had to go with San Fran with their defense.
Arizona without a defense?
Yeah.
And my fantasy pick is going to light it up, Kittle. Just had to put that out there, by the way.
And I think that Arizona it's still going to be a working process before they start becoming like a well-oiled machine.
Hey,
Kenyon Drake is dinged, I think. And then what?
So I'm the commissioner of a fantasy league, right? Listen, I got on the group call and we were discussing like the draft picks. Sean was 7th. This guy was 8th. And the guy was like, oh, yeah. He was like, I'm going to go with George Kittle because nobody else is going to get him. Sean goes, I'm the pick for you, and I'm going to take him. And I thought he was joking. We're on the phone. The 7th pick comes up. Sean fucking starts laughing and selects George Kittle, and Jason almost cried. And I was like, oh my God. Like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Oh, fucking prick.
So Sean's an asshole. Oh, that was fun. That was some funny shit, guys.
That's why I said Kittle's going to light it up today.
No, that's why I said
And I'm gonna win. And I'm gonna win against him too because I play him this week.
I know. And then I come up to go against each other, and Kittle's about to fucking dominate. Because only thing that now the Cardinals have Budda Baker and Chandler Jones and Pat Pete, but do they have enough? Maybe. I just don't think their defense is gonna be good enough yet.
If we're looking at defenses, I still like. I mean, we might get shocked, and Kyler Murray and Hop already has an amazing relationship, and they're able to take advantage of it. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah.
And again, with the biggest thing we talked about with Arizona was their offensive line is still a struggling offensive line. I had some more faith that like they had Marcus Gilbert coming back this year, but then Marcus Gilbert got dinged. He opted out because he just had a baby. So like that, I mean, that you're trying to fight a great D front, even after you lose Buckner. You still have an amazing front seven out of the 49ers. Talking about defenses and obviously stronger offenses. Once again, the Loudmouth crew has unanimously picked Dallas to go into Los Angeles on Sunday night. Courtney's changes.
He's changing pick.
No, fuck no. I got to choose the Dallas Cowboys, man. Like, that's the part about me being, like, a part of a great sports talk group. it's just fuck, man. Like, I hate the Cowboys, but like, if they can actually just have a coach that's going to lead them, the Dallas Cowboys should win the Super Bowl. Like, if they can stay healthy and they have a coach,
they just run the fucking ball.
Yeah, well, that too. But again, the thing for me is going to be Dallas' secondary. The only reason why I see the Rams having a chance is because Dallas' secondary is borderline pedestrian.
That and Cooper Kupp's healthy.
Yes.
And I mean, defensively wise, the Rams, obviously with Ramsey and Aaron Donald, is huge.
I'm changing. I'm going with the Rams.
No, you're not. Too late.
Okay.
If you really want to, you can take that L.
Now, the Cowboys are going to lose, so I'm going to just say this. The only reason I won't change it is because everybody picked them, so if the Cowboys do lose, then I don't really lose anything. So I'm
So that rounds out our Sunday picks. So then we jump into our doubleheader that we have on Monday, which is going to be exciting.
Or you change it. One would think that everybody is on the same level and that everybody understands that Big Ben is healthy with the best defense in the NFL. And so everybody would think, oh, wait, we got this fucker. Just when you think, oh, life is easy, everybody can agree that the Cowboys are going to whoop the Rams. But not everybody agrees that the fucking Giants, who have done nothing and are absolutely worthless, is going to beat the fucking Steelers.
I think Saquon Barkley is going to have a field day.
What has a field day against Pittsburgh's defense?
I'm telling you right now, Saquon Barkley is going to carry that team to victory.
It's Saquon. You can't say
Saquon. How the hell? Barkley is going to have a game, all right? He's going to have a game. I think Giants are going to give the Steeler offense a little trouble.
Name me one person on the Giants defense.
I really can't, but but Justin David even says Giants over Steelers. So if we fall on that sword together, we fall on the sword together. Giants over Steelers.
He probably tunes in and loudmouth off the top rope because y'all motherfuckers need to go off the top building and jump.
That Money in the Bank match just on the top of the fucking developmental center.
Y'all are smoking your Fruit Loops if you think they're going to be competitive. They don't have any. You couldn't tell me one person on the defense, but you think they're going to win somehow.
Honestly, I can't because the one guy that I could name right now is in custody. Fucking NFL player holding people up at a fucking poker game. But so speaking of poker, I don't know where I was going with that. But the last game to round out our weekend.
Speaking of poker, I don't know.
Going to our last game.
I was trying to hope to pull something out of my ass on that one. So obviously the Loudmouth group sends off the NFL with our last unanimous pick. We all think Tennessee's going to win this one. My main thought here is just, again, run the fucking ball and let Derrick Henry continue to do this. Von Miller's out. Denver got depleted of their defense in the offseason by not being able to keep guys around. And right now, even though people say Clowney's overrated, I think Clowney now has something to prove.
I hate that. So real quick, let me jump in. For people to say Jadeveon Clowney is overrated, they clearly do not watch football. Clowney, now, if you say he's underrated because of how much money he requested, I can understand you. But to say he's underrated, when he's healthy, and he's been healthy for the last 3 years, he's carrying when J.J. Watt got. Is that my girls?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl. You want me to come? I'll come see you later.
But yeah, I just think that like it might be close, but Derrick Henry is just going to ride this one, especially with Cam Sutton being hurt for Denver and being questionable. I just feel like Denver has too many things to work out before they can be a good offense.
What do you need, buddy? What do you need, bud? Yeah.
I guess having a family thing. That's
No, not yet. I'm gonna call her in a little bit.
George, have a great day.
Still living there.
Yes, sir.
George is
You know, so again, guys, this is a great show. I hope everybody enjoys their Sunday. Enjoy having football back.
I gotta go, but I'm on a show.
What's
I'll
up?
be right back.
Before everybody mute
Face. I'll call you in a minute. Bye.
All right. So coming Tuesday, are we gonna make the announcement Tuesday? You muted yourself.
We can either do it today or Tuesday.
Well, so let's do it now. So Tuesday,
Right.
we have $5 off on Bomb Outmouth Sports Talk apparel. So on t-shirts, you can get them $5 off. Use the code NFL Kickoff 5. So go ahead and tune in to bombshellbowling.com/loudmouth sports talk and get your apparel. And the second announcement is going to be that we guest on if you guys want to join and go ahead and be our and get beat by George and I. Only person you want to beat on the show is Sean and maybe Robbie. Getter of Loudmouth. Hey, Sean, I'm gonna get you the loser has to wear a Loudmouth thing with an L for every single where every time we do this one. Loser has to hold.
Hey, we should just get a headband.
Yeah. But go ahead. We can go ahead and kick it. So
yeah. So again, go get your hoodies, go get your t-shirts, and then again tune into the trenches on Tuesday so we can go ahead and pick a guest for next Sunday's selection show. But everybody have fun this Sunday. Enjoy this football weekend, and everybody enjoy it. See you guys later.
Run the damn ball.